Welcome to episode 17 of Doing Different with Kimmy. We celebrate women who are aging joyfully and who empower and inspire others through their courage. Whether you're exploring new passions, tackling challenges head on, or simply finding joy in the little things, this is your space. On Doing Different, you are seen, heard, and understood. You are not alone. You have a purpose, and your life is just beginning. We welcome those from all walks of life, especially those who are empty nesters, caregivers, have chronic pain, are dealing with estrangement with their adult children, terminal illness, divorce, suffering from mental illness, addiction, and widowed. And we also welcome podcasters and authors. We want to hear your voice. My guest today is Cheryl Roeser. Cheryl's work is all about making women feel good in what they wear. She encourages women to see their beauty and to try different things. She believes that finding communities based around your interest is key for support in doing your different and to find what you love to do. You are not alone and you are not done learning and living. You are just beginning to reinvent yourself. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome to Doing Different with Kimmy.
Hi, Kimmy. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. It's been busy, but I'm good.
Great. Well, I want to get into the questions because I've got so many questions for you, and I'm so excited for your journey and what you're doing. And are you able to tell us and tell me and my listeners what sparked the idea for your business? And what
Sure.
is your business called?
Okay. First, I'll start with my business. It's called Colorfully Curated by Cheryl. And right now, you can just find that on Facebook, but I'm about to launch my website. I don't do much Instagram yet. I haven't branched out there, but anyway, but what sparked it? Well, I've been curious and interested in color. So I do color analysis, personal color analysis, and style consultations. And it really got sparked back in the 80s when color analysis was really big back then. But then again, it kind of resurfaced after, raising a family and all those kinds of things kind of put it on the back burner. But during COVID, a friend of mine invited me to a closet declutter challenge, and it was a free challenge. And so I did that, and I learned about a company called Style by Color. So I kind of moved in with them, sort of. I kind of joined their VIP group and I did multiple things with them. It was all online when we were all secluded in the homes, and what are you going to do? So, and my closet needed cleaning. So it was a great time to get started with that. But over the last 5 years, I guess it is now, I, followed that group. They have a private Facebook group where you can join in to learn more about style and color. And then in last year, in 2024, I debated back and forth. Do I do this? Do I have to do it as a business? It was a big investment to take the certification classes. And so I started out just with the color certification. And then later I was gifted the style portion of it. So by the end of October of last year, I was certified both in color analysis and style
Oh, that's
consultation
wonderful. And how
analysis.
long did that take? A year
Well,
or?
well, no, the certification classes were about a 3-day course for each different one. It was all online. And so I did that, with Sherry at Style by Color. And then through that, I also joined a professional development group, which is a private group through Facebook. So I continue my education with Style and Color. Every month they have some kind of training or something. And I'm so excited. Next month, I get to go to their alumni conference. So my first time to do
Wow.
that, but I'm pretty excited about being able to go.
Oh,
So
that is so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. And you did say take some time to think about it, which
I
is
did.
really, really good.
I did because I vacillated. Do I spend the money if I'm not going to do it as a business? What if I don't do it as a business? I keep going through those kinds of things. And at that time, my husband was still working, and I'm like, he invests in his professional development. And so I
Right.
talked with him about it, and we're like, okay, yeah, even if I don't do this as a business, it was my own personal development. And then and if I didn't do it as a business, it still was a way for me to continue to learn in an area that I enjoyed.
Oh, that is so awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
exciting.
s- so explain a little bit
Okay.
exactly what is color and style analysis? What is it?
Okay. Well, when I say color analysis or a color consultation, a lot of times people's brain goes to like home decor and
Yeah.
home design and that kind of thing. So I had to kind of work on learning how to explain things too. That's why I say personal color analysis. So I meet with you. I can do it in multiple different levels. I have just a real quick where I determine your what we call your color code. And what that is I look at four basic color characteristics. Your hair, your eyes, and your skin are the three main ones. And then I think you asked this question a little, further down in the questionnaire, but we also, one of the things that makes us different is we are trained in your contrast level. So the difference between
Oh,
your skin and your hair, and that's going to be reflected in other things that you're going to wear. So I will sit with you. I will talk to you about your coloring, and then I will drape you in different drapes and determine your color code. And
oh,
then from
nice.
there, when I do just the mini one, what I call a mini pop up, you get your color code. You get a digital swatch deck that gives you your best 36 colors. And you get an ebook to go along with your color code. And that covers multiple other things and gives you shopping tips.
Oh,
Because
nice.
color analysis can save you money, it can save you time, and it can save you decision stress. From decision stress, if you stand in your closet, how many people stand in their closet and think you have nothing to wear?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that we do that might be a little different. I haven't really, when you ask what's different, I haven't really explored what the other um, color analysis programs are doing, but I believe one of the things that we do that might be a little different is we want you to shop your closet first.
Oh,
We don't tell
nice.
you that you have
Yes.
to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe in your color code, but we walk alongside of you. We teach you how to shop your closet, pull the things out, and we help you curate your closet and make it, your own little boutique to so that you feel good when you walk into it instead of overwhelmed.
Right, exactly. That is so cool because I never thought, that I would look good in pink. And it
Mm,
wasn't until recently, during doing these podcast interviews that I wore a pink shirt and I thought, oh, I look pretty good in pink on camera. And
mhm.
it's because mostly I wear black to look thinner or
Right.
navy blue. And those have been, my colors during my weight gaining issues throughout life. So I always gravitate towards the darker colors. But then I started realizing, wow, I even look good in yellow.
Mm.
And so I get the chance to wear all those different colors when I am doing my podcast. Today I didn't wear a bright shirt, um but I have in my other podcasts. So I'm experimenting with that. I need to find a cardigan or a kimono that I
Mhm.
can put over those bright colors that will still help me feel comfortable about how I'm looking from the waist down. So, do you often help people come out of that fear of what they look if it's gonna make them look chunkier or
Right.
wider? Do
That
you help
that
them
moves into the
get through that?
style portion of what I do. So color is where I always like to start. And then I can also help you determine your body shape. And there's, categories of body shapes, and then learn how to dress that. So I can help you with what color you should put on for that cardigan.
Oh,
So,
nice,
so
nice. Does this cost anything?
it does when I do a one-on-one with you, or even in workshops. I do workshops, which kind of brings the cost down a little bit, but
Mhm.
it can cost anywhere from about $65 for the mini, and it can go upwards of 250 depending on what we're doing.
Right.
But it can be customized too, and it could be done in pieces. Like you could
Right.
do the color on your own, as its own, and then later we could come back and visit. In fact, I have a lady that I'm going to work with in October where we're going to work in her closet and curate her closet. And we
Oh,
started out with
nice.
color, and then she's been to some of my workshops on style. And I just had one last month that was for curvy girls. And so
Oh.
it was in a boutique that carries plus sizes, and I did a 15-minute little talk about how to dress if if you have more curve, or if you're a little overweight, and I also help you determine, like, in the style journey, it is a journey. And so I start out just finding out maybe what your height is, and then that can put you in a category. And then
Oh,
if you're carrying a little extra weight, then that can move you from one category to the other. I
right.
can help you determine then what style of clothes do you tend to lean towards, and that is kind of divided into four groups. And then from there we take that and we work on your personal style, because even within the four style groups, you're going to show up. If we're in the same style group, you're going to show up different than I do. Like how that would
Oh.
work, what your and the way I do that is I have a tool, it's a worksheet, and you define yourself by one noun and two adjectives. How you want to show
Oh.
up, how you want to show out, how you want to be known, and then that can translate into your clothing.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It
I'm
is
gonna
a
have
lot of
to
fun.
I'll have to get on board with that, but I'm just sometimes, there's people that are so scared and so hesitant to change and to do something different and to get out of our comfort zone. It can be
Yes,
quite fearful for some people.
it can be.
Um, and that's why I wanted to hear your story on doing different because this is completely different. I mean, this is hard. That and what you've gone through and do all the analysis and everything, that takes a lot of time and patience. And so kudos to you. I mean, I
Thank you.
absolutely love what you're doing. That's fantastic.
I do
And it's
too.
so exciting. And do you have any favorite client stories that you would like to share that you think that they would allow you to share?
Yeah, I was thinking of a couple, and I just won't use names. I'll just tell you that I had a young single mom come in to do um, and let me back up just a minute. I do it as a business, but I also do it as a ministry. So
Yeah.
individual situations and nonprofits, I'll do ministry type opportunities for them. So this was a young woman that I met at a networking group, and she's a single mom. She was getting ready to make a major move from our state to another state, and I offered for her. I was going to have a pop up in this boutique. I said, I'm doing this week before you move. I want to do it for you. So
Oh,
she was so excited to come in, and between myself and the boutique owner, we we did her colors, we talked about her body shape. I showed her some things about what size accessories to wear because of her body shape and height and all those things. And we helped her find some outfits. And
nice.
she was in tears that she could
Oh,
look so beautiful. And she's a
oh,
beautiful woman. She just didn't feel beautiful in her body.
yeah.
And then another situation was actually the boutique owner. And she, like you, and like so many women, wore black all the time to help
Mm-hmm.
herself look thinner. And her color code does not lend well to black. So it would always, and you'll see if you follow my Facebook page, I'm going to post a picture because she just sent me a picture today. I asked her, can I get a picture of you in black? And she said, I always felt washed out. Now I know why. And
Yeah.
I encouraged her in new colors. So that was the part of it. There was another young lady that came in. I did not do her full colors, but I showed her the kinds of things that I do. And she's a business owner also. And then she was looking for a specific outfit for a specific event. And the boutique owner and I helped her find that.
Oh,
And
so
she said
nice.
to me that, this was so helpful to her. Her mother was not still around in her life. I don't know the
Oh,
details. I don't know if it's death or estrangement or what, but she enjoyed having other women help her find what looked great on her.
that's so nice. And I do notice that I just want to say something about me when it comes to the color black and all that. It's something that I don't have to think about. I just
Right.
grab the black capris, I grab the black kimono, I grab the
Hmm.
black t-shirt, whatever. I don't have to think about it. And I only feel good in black because of my shape. But I love colors, as you can see on my
Hmm.
back. I love colors and I love pink and my favorite color is purple and I love colors, but it's that insecurity of perhaps looking bigger. So with you doing the style on top of the colors and measuring the height and complementing your shape.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
think it's fantastic. I never really heard of that before. I knew that there was, like you were talking about years ago, match your colors and
Hmm.
what colors you look good in, but I didn't know about the style. I didn't know that you could work with the certain shapes, because everybody either has an apple shape or a pear
Right.
shape you know, um, or a round, bubble shape or whatever.
Well,
As I'm gonna be 60, and I'm telling you, my shape is changing. Oh my gosh, it's
it
changing.
does. It tends to. Well, and we don't use all the fruit shapings. One of the
Oh,
things that
good.
we do is that we ask you to think about, where do you gain your weight? When you do gain weight, where is it? And then that we
Yes.
work from there, which is similar to the body shape in some way. But there's some tricks I can show you, and we can talk at another time personally
Oh,
on that.
nice.
We'll
And it's
we'll
nice that you don't use the labels of the pear and the apple and
You
the
don't like those?
hourglass and all that, because you don't wanna, hear that, "Oh, well, I look like an apple."
Well, the owner of Style by Color has developed her own methods. She was trained by one of those early color consulting or color companies. She was one of the first
Right,
50. And then she wrote a book later. And when she did that, she couldn't use their terms because they were copyrighted or whatever. So she came up with her
right.
own system. And she's been in the business probably, oh gosh, maybe 40, 45 years. But so now, and that's one of the things she does with her business is trains others of us so that we
Oh,
are
that's
around the
awesome.
country, around the world, being able to help women and men. But I prefer to use it with women, because
Yeah.
it does, one of the things that has been so surprising to me is, like, I was helping a lady, older lady, and she was in the fitting room trying on some of the clothes, and the things she said to herself about how she looked, what her looks were like, wow, this was a woman that I um before she retired, she was a CEO, so a powerful woman in business. I'm like, and she talks to herself like this, and I'm
Aw,
like, it was not complimentary. And I said to her, if I were in the fitting room, would you be telling me that? No.
right,
So let's talk to yourself in a good way. We have those
right.
tapes that play in our head, things we heard as kids, um, and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and
So,
our and siblings are not too nice sometimes. When I grew up with my siblings, I think that they kind of gave me this complex that I have because I didn't see myself as the way that they saw me, and I wish they hadn't told me. I was like, because
well,
that
and
does stick in your head.
yeah, and something that I was hearing today, I was in a networking meeting earlier today, and it was women that are in business, but they started talking when I was introducing my business, they said, teen girls need to hear what you have to say,
Yes,
because where is their influence? Their influence is on social media and
that's
talking to
right.
them about what they look like or don't look like. And they're at we were amazed at 11 years old, they're concerned about these things.
Yeah.
I was at a camp this summer, or no, not this summer, the summer before, and I was a counseling in a 6 to 10-year-old cabin of girls.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? We had to get them through their showers at night and get them into bed, and it was taking forever. Took me a couple days. Why is it taking so long? Why are you in the shower for half an hour?
Right.
They're doing all these skincare treatments and hair care treatments at 9 years old.
Oh my goodness, and that's because what they see on social media. They wanna
Exactly.
grow up faster and they yeah. Oh,
Yep.
that's really oh my goodness,
It's
I can't
scary to
imagine.
me,
It
and one of the
is.
ladies today was talking about her daughter. I think she might be maybe 13, but wanting to use all these different products, and the products are meant for older women and have things in them that could actually hurt their skin.
That's right,
But
and
that's
there's a
what
lot
they're
of
seeing
products.
on TikTok and all of those places. Yeah.
That's right, and there's a yeah, because that's how social media influencers sell their products and make money through advertising, and, um,
Yep.
and there's toxic, ingredients
Yes.
sometimes and microplastics and stuff like that that's in the
Mhm.
products, and so you have to be so careful, and that was kinda answering my next question in
Oh,
regards to how you think color and style can help women at different stages in life. So you just talked about even a 10-year-old could I mean, if somebody, you know, and if they're looking to use makeup that's meant for older women and this color analysis is for older women but also for any age
it
really,
really
then
is.
why not be able to branch out and offer it to kids too, you know?
Yep.
That would take a lot of work, but it's still an idea that they need to learn how to dress, and I hope that our country can get back to proper influence for our
Yes.
children because right now it's going way
Yes.
overboard. And so, yeah, so that was so what age then do you think or that you've had experience in regards to the help that women have received from you? What's the age range? Like would
Um,
would you say it's more 50 and over or more in their 40s?
I've done some of all, but I would say 50 or older is where most of mine has been so far. But like today in this group that I was in today, they were talking about, the fact that these teens need it, and that there are some teen groups, even in churches,
Yes.
that kind of
Yes.
that could be a good place. And I've done that. At the camp I was at that I go to every summer, I'm not counseling anymore because you may be almost 60, but I'm almost 70.
Well, you don't look it.
Thank you. But I feel it when I'm in the cabin with these girls. So
Yeah,
I told them I can't do cabins anymore, but I can teach. And so they asked me to teach on modesty to the teen girls.
that's
And
awesome.
I was like, okay, if I use that word, number one, they'll shut me down. So I
Hmm.
didn't. I approached it from, you know, how are you fashioned? What is your fashion? And one of the young girls, because it was a Christian camp, one of the young girls said, fashion is part of the Bible. And I'm like, we're going to talk about that, sweetie. So
Yeah,
I did
well,
a
you could have told her about Queen Esther, right?
exactly. We did talk a
Yeah.
little bit about her. And I was able to bring, like you said, back to better influencing our young people. I was able to
Yes.
bring it to them. I didn't do color with them or anything like that. I did talk a little bit, but I was able to bring it to them to where they made the decisions on what was
Right.
best.
Did you have samples?
I did. I had broken them into three groups. It wasn't a huge group of girls, but I had broken them into three groups. And at the end, the exercise at the end was each of them had a packet of like five different teen girl outfits that I had
Oh,
pulled off the internet. And each group, I had them take those and they determined if it was appropriate for them or not, and why
oh,
and
wow.
why not. And then we shared it as the whole group. So I never told them what to wear or what not to wear. From
Oh my
what
goodness.
we looked at, they determined that this was good or this wasn't good. So
That's amazing. So basically, you can bring this to camps and I'm trying to think of other venues that non-Christian teens,
4-H, 4-H groups,
4-H.
Girl
Yes.
Scouts, any of that kind of
Yes.
stuff can go anywhere, really.
And
You
it's a
know,
lot
because
of fun. It's a
yes,
lot of fun, especially for them because, girls love fashion and
yes.
they love clothes. I mean, they just love it. And so I think that's fantastic. That I used to be a Sunday school teacher for the preteens, and I
Mm,
love that age group. And they're so much fun. And we used to demonstrate Bible stories, and I would
mm,
dress them up. If we talked about Lazarus, we took toilet
mm,
paper and we wrapped them
right.
up in the old cloth, and if we talked about the wedding feast, then we dress them up in the wedding gowns. They love it. They love to play dress up.
Yes.
And I think that your business is something that can be used in that fashion, and you've already done it. So,
Anytime you're transitioning, if you're a young girl just coming into being able to wear that makeup or be even aware that fashion is out there, that's a transition. As they, maybe they're in their young teen or in teens and early 20s, they dress a certain way, but then they get out of college and they're transitioning into the job market. So
yes.
they can't wear what they wore across campus, or now you're a mom and you can't wear what you would wear in the career that you were in, or so
Yes.
anytime there's a transition, I think it can be helpful.
Yes.
You get lost, you lose who you are. I've had women that were corporate get laid off from their jobs as they're downsizing and not know who they are. And this whole process helps you find that back out. If you think about it, when I go from color to your signature style statement, you're discovering yourself
That's
again.
right.
And so
That's right.
anytime you have transition um, in life, it's a good time to do it, and it can
And I
help.
always say every decade, every time, like when I hit 40, something was different. When I hit 50, something was
Mhm.
different. And now there's 60. I don't like this different, but it's okay because it'll get better. I know that it will. It's just a different phase that, or
Yes,
not a phase, but it's a different journey when each decade hits,
yes.
and we have to learn to do different. And what you're doing is you're giving them that gift to rediscover
Mhm.
themselves in each stage,
Yep.
which is
And
great.
because we would work on your signature style statement now doesn't mean 6 months from now you might tweak it and it might not be exactly who you think you are or want to be or whatever. So,
That's right. So it just keeps growing. I mean,
yes.
it grows with you.
So, your question about trends.
Yeah.
There's color trends going on. There always is whenever a season changes. And that can be your color code might not include all of the color trends. So
Hmm.
for me, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a cool, what we have 6 different categories, not the 4 seasons. We have 6. And it's been a process that Sherry at Style by Color went through to develop this system. It took into consideration some challenges that they were having with the 4 seasons, but I am what's called a cool, and that's because I'm graying. You can't always see it on the screen, but I have over 50% gray in my hair. And so I tend to be towards cool colors because of the silver and gray. The shine that I have lends itself better to cool colors than orange, like your tree in your background there. I
Right.
wouldn't do
Right.
well with that. So knowing your color code can save you money when you're out shopping this fall as to can you wear that like army green color? I can't do that. I will not go near that color, so I
Now,
won't.
what happens? So, what happens if your complexion would go good with orange, but your hair would not?
So
Does that
that's a
happen?
really good question. It can. And so we can customize which of the colors that are. And reality though, when you go silver or gray or like I can't tell, is your hair blonde or white or where?
I was a blonde
Mhm.
and now I'm white,
More
except
white,
for the very top right here
right?
is a dingy dishwater blonde, but all of this right here is just white silver.
Yeah.
I
So
will
we
be
would,
dyeing my hair though. I will be dyeing it soon.
oh,
A dark blonde.
okay. And see, that can change you. So
Right,
before I went as gray as I am, you can see more of the gray over here. But I
right.
was in a color code that did bring in some of those warmer type colors, but I'm going to look at your eye color. I'm going to look at your skin tone, and then we're going to determine it. But so the trend colors, it's fall. So you're going to see that olive green, you're going to see the burgundies, you're going to see the golds, those kinds of things. But like I said, you need to know if they're in your color code or not, or
Right.
what color of that color. Not all reds are the same reds. Some have a blue undertone, some have a yellow undertone. So, which one do you need to be wearing? So, that's where the color coding comes in and the color analysis helps. And then you get your card deck and your swatches that you know what's going to fit for you. As far
Right.
as trends go, I did write some things down. So there's always the color trends when you change a season. And one of the cool things that is about Style by Color, which is the product line that I would use, the card decks, those kinds of things, is that the owner CEO of that, she will look at all of the trend reports. She gets the major trend reports from the fashion industry, from New York and from London and Paris and all of that. Then she looks at what's in our stores, what's in our catalogs, and she picks those colors that we're going to see that you might not that might be on the runway but we're not going to see in our stores necessarily.
Right.
So that there's always a trend color, but right now the like in jeans, for example, boot cuts are in, wide legs are in, barrel jeans are in.
What
um
is a barrel jean?
it kind of goes a little wider at the knee and then tapers down into closer to the ankle, not tight to the ankle, but closer. I think I posted some. If you look at my Facebook page and scroll down, I put some barrel jeans. I'm posting some of the trends on
Oh,
that.
good,
So
good.
you can
It
go
kind of
there to
sounds
look.
like those pants that jockeys wear if they're wide at the top and
Mm,
smaller at the bottom.
Yeah, but not quite as fitted. They're a little looser and a little looser down at the bottom, but they have a little bit of a barrel shape to them.
Oh my.
Um, Suede is in,
Oh, really?
both in clothing and shoes. Let's see. Animal prints are typically always in that. Animal prints pretty much have become a classic,
Yeah,
but I can't wear the leopard, gold
me
leopards,
neither.
but
Me neither.
I have found some gray pieces which work. In shoes, clogs are in. Um,
Yes.
in jewelry and accessories, they now have brooches are still big. They were big, I think, for the spring. They still are. Um, they're doing the scarf necklaces. Remember how we used to have jewelry on scarves? So that's
Yes.
a trend this fall also.
With
Um,
those straight pins. They were pins that they
oh,
were long
yep,
pins with a design on the top. Yes.
yep. Also in pants and denims are like both long straight legs and crop straight legs, and then the big cuff on the jeans at the bottom, even on
Oh, wow.
a cuffed hem, even on a crop. So, but
Really?
yes, so those are some of the trends. There's also Style by Color does a trend report at all four of the season changes. And that's a product that you can purchase through my Facebook page. If you go to the top of my Facebook page, there is an affiliate. I have an affiliate store with Style by Color, and you get
Okay.
access to that. Um, so you can,
What about tops? I mean, are kimonos? I love kimonos.
well, you know,
Are they?
actually, and this is a trend. I'm looking. Hold on, just a minute. Uh, so, um, shorter jackets and tops, sweaters are trending. I can't do them.
No, no, same,
So,
same.
but like, let's see, I'm looking at the trends. Oversized suits, cape tops, a top that might have a bit of a cape to it. Um,
Oh, a cape?
yeah, might have like a cape accent, not a full cape. That is for an outerwear, it is. But
That
like
sounds
there's
interesting.
tops that have, but really the shorter looks are the trend. So that's a trend I'll stay away from.
Yeah,
You know,
me too.
ladylike, bows and ruffles are in. So
Oh.
that kind of thing. I'm just looking to see.
Well, I wouldn't mind the cape if it was long over
Right.
my butt. That would be
Yep.
great. I would
Yep.
want to do the cape thing, but not if it's above my butt.
One of the things I teach is column dressing. And you'll see on my Facebook page also, I've done a couple of posts where it might show you a color combination. And then I'll ask the question, can you find the column? And there's two basic columns, an inside column and an outside column. And so
Interesting.
that will help you with body shape and which one should you wear. So that's another way to look at
Oh, that is so interesting. I mean, see, that's the thing with the trends. I've always wondered who develops them,
them. Mhm.
who makes them, because it's not for everybody. You see these
Exactly.
fashion shows, in Italy and France and everything,
Right.
and who would wear that? That's not something that I would wear, but
Right.
I often feel because I love kimonos so much. I've been looking for a navy blue one. I can't find it anywhere,
Mhm.
but I often feel now that when I do wear it, I feel out of style. I feel
Mhm.
older. I feel like people are looking at me and it just doesn't make me feel comfortable wearing it, but I like the look of it. And
Mhm.
so that's important to me too is you got to feel comfortable in whatever it
Yes.
is that you're wearing. It could look really good on you, but if you don't feel comfortable in it, then it's not gonna work. I mean, and
Right.
you have to feel good in your own skin as well.
Exactly.
And at this point right now, because I'm not in I'm not working a business job, I'm not dressing up.
Mhm.
and I pretty much just wearing my leggings and my t-shirts.
Right.
And but when I do go out, I don't want to just wear that. I wanna look
Right.
presentable, I wanna look nice, and I
Right.
wanna look good in different colors, so I never realized how important that was until just now talking with you
Mm.
about
Mhm.
how much of a difference that can make, like you were saying about the woman that was moving, and you
Yes.
gifted her the analysis and just made her feel so good, and that isn't
Mhm.
that what it's all about is,
Exactly.
we're
Yeah,
doing
just because a
different and
trend is trending doesn't mean it's gonna look good on us, and we don't
right.
have to wear every trend, and that's one of the things too, even in color trends, you might go into a store and see the mannequin and think that looks really great. You
Yeah.
might buy that exact outfit, bring it
Yeah.
home, and then you try it on and you're like, "Oh, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
good." And then it
No.
ends up hanging in your closet. One of the
Yes.
things that I have done, and I do encourage people to do this, is thrifting, especially if you're trying something out. And
Yes.
so the it's a safer way to not spend all of your money to try a trend, and or just go try them on. Like in my professional development group, the question has come up about these barrel jeans. Are they going to look good on everybody?
Yeah.
But so they're wanting us to we get to go shopping while we're at our conference coming up in October, and so we're going to try some things, and we're encouraged to try it now and post pictures in our private group. But um
Well, the first
last
thing that comes to mind when you say barrel jeans is, well, wait a minute here. I've already got a barrel shape. I don't think I wanna wear a barrel jean to make me look even more of a bigger barrel. I wanna taper that down. We gotta
but you might
taper
be
it down.
surprised, because let me just share this little tidbit with you. So there's different sizes of barrels, for one thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's something to keep in mind. So there's something they're calling a mini barrel, which is not as full a leg, so it
Oh.
might not look. But I even last year, one of the trends, and I think it's still in right now, is the wide leg jean. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's going to make me look huge.
Mhm.
I bought a pair and
Oh,
it
wow.
doesn't, and I had
Oh.
a lady that I worked with, and there was a pair of jeans. They were a little wider leg, and she carries her weight in her hips and her derriere, and I wasn't sure it was going to work for her, but we tried it on. But because it hung from the widest part of her hip straight down, it didn't come in, it was flattering, and
It
she could.
balanced it out.
Yes, yes. And
I see.
that you I'm glad you said that, because that really is the key to everything. It's the key to
Mhm.
color, it's the key to style, is balance. So for color, what you have going on up here, we're going to mimic down here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So for style, you're going to find where you're carrying your weight, and you're going to balance the rest of your look so that that's not so prominent. Someone who you use the apples, if you're an apple shape, maybe you're round up here. If you wear skinny jeans, you're going to look like you're going to tip over, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you want something with a little bit more, either a straight leg or a flare, or maybe even the wide leg. You'd have to try and see how it worked with you. And then learning how to
Exactly.
carry, what top to put with it, whether, some of, like I said, some of the easiest ways to dress yourself is in columns. And if you learn what's the best column for your body shape, it can make life really simple. And
Yeah,
that's
and another
probably,
issue. Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's probably what you're thinking about when you're trying to find that kimono that's going to work with your
Yes.
bottoms. So, yeah.
Yes, yes, and one other issue is zippers, and so I remember asking my mom when I was 10, and saying, all my friends' moms, they wear jeans and they wear zippers. How come you don't wear zippers? Zippered pants. Or she goes,
Oh.
"Oh, I can't do that. My stomach is too pouchy and I can't wear zippers." And I always thought, huh, that's weird. She should at least try. Now I'm at that age and
Mm,
I can't wear zippers. Right now I can't. Now, 6
right.
years ago, I was able to. And I was ecstatic. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I can fit into zippered jeans. This is great." Right now, at this point, I'm just wearing um my stretchy capris. I feel
Mhm.
comfortable when it's stretchy, the leggings and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but only because I feel comfortable in it.
It's not
And so
binding you.
what do you tell someone when they say, um, "Oh, I don't do zippers. I can't wear those jeans," or if you match them up with a certain style and this barrel style jean would look good on you, but that barrel style jean has a zipper and a button and they're tactical, not
Mm,
tactical, but they're textile. That's another
right.
thing that bothers me.
Yep.
Tags on the shirt,
Right.
certain threads that are sewn into the shirt or buttons.
Mhm.
Sometimes people that bothers them. I'm one of those people. So what would you suggest if in a trend or in a style or and what happens when they can't wear the zippers and the buttons
Well,
in a pant?
nowadays, there's so many pants that are pull-ons that that are even in a jean, you know?
Okay.
So that might be a way to do it, and maybe even I know we all get to be size sensitive, but really size means nothing. You
Yeah.
might want to go up a size just to give you a little bit more of that room.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might need to have something tailored to fit you, the waist better, but
Right.
or something like that. But yeah, there are ways around all those things. You need to find the fabrics that you're comfortable in and
Yes.
then, work from there, so then you'll start to find the brands that work for you and you'll narrow your shopping down to just those brands. I have shoes. I have issues with pronation in my feet and I have custom orthotics. Now, not all of my shoes are that, but there's a brand of shoes out there that has a built-in orthotic
Oh,
and
wow.
even in sandals. So I will tend towards those instead of what I can get for $20 at Walmart.
Right, and
I
that's important too. I'm glad that you mentioned the footwear
Mhm.
because that pulls the whole outfit together. And I love in the fall time and in the we don't have winter
Right.
really in Florida, but it's an excuse, right? It's
Yeah.
December. Let's put on those little boots, and
Yeah.
I love it. I love the boot cut jeans if I could wear zippers, but when I can wear zippers, I love boot cut. I love wearing those not cowboy boots that are pointy, but just a nice boot.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it, but how do you pull the outfit together once you find the color and the style for a particular person that works for them? Now, do you complete it with footwear or do you just skip that altogether
Nope.
and leave it up to them?
Nope. Actually, I will give you a free tip for footwear,
Okay.
especially if you're investing. As we get older, we tend to need better shoes, and
Mhm.
so they cost more, right?
Yes.
Match your hair. That might
Oh.
seem really weird, but when you look at your full picture, it's bookended. If you're matching your
Yes.
hair, it bookends and it completes the look. So
Ye
that's true about handbags also. If you're investing, match your hair, then it'll go with everything that you have pretty much.
Interesting. And that does make sense because I'm an artist, I love to
Uh-huh.
paint, and so I love balance. I always have to balance my colors when I'm
Mhm.
painting on canvas. What you're doing is artistry. You are
Yes.
an artist. And so I get it now because I never thought of it that way, but now I get it because I would, in my paintings, I would balance it out
Mhm.
to make it all come together. And basically, that's what you're doing. So that makes a lot of sense. So I need to find some shoes that are like bright blonde and white. I don't know where I'm going to find them, but
Silver works nice. I have a
right
pair
now
of
I'm wearing black Crocs.
right. I have a pair of silver tennis shoes that my
Oh, nice.
orthotics fit in, you
Oh,
know.
nice. I have orthotics too, and it's really hard for me recently. I've just been wearing my Crocs to the grocery store. I'm
Mhm,
paying for it too. I'm in
mhm,
a lot of pain. I got to get back to my orthotics in my tennis shoes. So,
mhm.
wow, that's very interesting. Such a great point. And for all of you out there, just remember that was a freebie. So, now what about women that are just getting started, um, if somebody was interested to contact you and to get this going for them, what would your advice be for them? The first thing that they ought to do after they, contact you. What's the next step after that?
Okay, well, um, I have not gotten to where I'm doing it virtually yet. There are some color consultants that are doing that. Technology is my nemesis.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I just need to take that step. That's one of those things, you know, how you were asking about in your business, if there's like things that you need to, well, how did you put it? Like,
Something reoccurring in your
yeah.
journey that you'd like to transform. That was my next question. So now we can talk about
But
that still.
there are color consultants and style consultants that do virtual appointments. I really
Okay.
think in person is the best. And
Absolutely.
and if I'm not in your area, if you go to stylebycolor.com, they have a find a consultant, and that consultant would be trained in the same way that I've talked about tonight. Um,
Okay.
and so you can find, you can look that way. Um, they also, they have a color quiz on their website where you can do it. The challenge with the color quiz is that we see ourselves differently than we really show up sometimes.
Mhm.
So, you said you used to be blonde, and I used to be blonde, and I still think of myself. It's really just been since I've been doing color that I don't think of myself as a blonde anymore. So,
Right.
how you answer the questions can skew your color code. So it's always good to, you can always go there and get a starting point, but then
Right.
I always encourage people to find their own color consultant to confirm it for you. And
Right.
um, so, if you can find one in your area, if you can find one that does virtual, I'll post on my Facebook page when I get there.
Right.
There's a couple
Right.
of areas I'm still working on, but it takes time for some of that. It takes time to sit down and learn it and all of that.
And what about people who are colorblind? They definitely need a consultant because
They
they need to
do.
be told what color their hair really is
Right.
because they can't
That's
tell. Like I find that issue though more with men
yes,
than
I
with
think
women,
so.
but there are some, women that will swear that it's green, but it's not
Right.
green, it's brown.
Right,
Well, at
right.
least I feel that it's brown. So, do your color swatches have the name of the color?
Yes.
Okay, good, because if somebody thinks that brown is green, it actually
Right.
says, "No, it's brown." So
Yeah, yeah.
so is
So
that
I
an
have
issue
the
come
I have
across?
the swatches are available digitally so that you have them on your phone, or there's a hard card deck also that can be purchased. So there's multiple ways to get your colors. So if someone's colorblind, I really do encourage them to find a consultant to get a color code done for them, and
Yes.
so that they can then get their swatches and then they can work from that. I don't
Right.
know whether, you know, I would hope that, I'm not sure with color blindness, if you hold up this green and you put it next to something, will they be able to see the difference if it's not the same? I
Right.
don't know.
Right.
So
So that
having
would
that
be
name helps, and it is on both the digital and the hard color decks. Um,
So the best thing for somebody that's colorblind is to get that consult, get the consultation, have them do your color analysis and style and tell you what
mhm,
color you look good in and
right,
just trust them and believe them because even you're not going to see those colors the way that they
right.
see the colors.
It's
So
so
it's
true.
that's extremely important for somebody with color
Color
blindness
blind.
to get
Yeah.
in touch with a color analyst or what would you call yourself a color style analyst?
Or yeah, color consultant.
Color
There's all
consultant.
different names. So
So basically, I think you've already answered the next question in regards to noticing recurring issues that you'd like to transform, and you're pretty much saying technology.
yeah, and it's so funny because my husband's a computer software developer.
Oh, are you kidding? Oh my goodness.
But he develops at the system level, the machine
Yeah,
level, not in the application level. So even
yeah.
though I have an application, he doesn't always know about it. But yep, that
Right. Well, that's the same with my husband. When we got married, he was a computer operator
mm,
and he worked with mainframes
mhm.
in the banking, and then he worked for Home Shopping Network and was in charge of their computerized phone system for all of the different orders
Oh wow.
that would come in. And now, he's gotten away from that. Now he's not in that field anymore, and he has a hard time with a laptop.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a man that was working with mainframe computers
Mhm.
but the technology just keeps growing
Yep.
and growing and growing, and it's happening more rapidly,
Yep.
and you can't even keep up. I mean,
Right.
that's why they're hiring, 25-year-olds, 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds in all of these big businesses and letting go the people who have been there for years because the technology is advancing rapidly and that would cost them more money to train the ones that were there for 20 years than to hire somebody new. So
Right.
it's sad. It's a sad situation, but it's
It
hard
is,
for
but
me
I'll tell you
too.
something my husband ran into. Those 20 somethings might have the degree, but they don't know how to apply it. They're
That's right.
he found that before he retired. He just retired in April, but he would end up having to handhold these young guys. Go read the manual. Go read, how do you
Right.
fix? They don't, they're struggling to put it into application. And
Right.
so they need those mentors. They need those older programmers or developers or whatever system you're in, whatever industry you're in. They still need those older guys to
Exactly. And
to
now
teach
with
them.
AI,
Yeah.
AI is starting to run itself. And
Yeah.
so that's a pretty scary situation.
Yeah.
And my husband will say it till, you know, the cows come home, if that's how, how you say it. But
That's right.
um, he said he should have never gotten into it.
Mm,
Because it was a dead end for him.
mm,
And he dedicated his entire life to computers and computer operating systems, and then it wasn't needed anymore
yeah.
because they can run themselves, basically, these huge
Mhm.
mainframes. So, well, that's really interesting, but, I'm right up there with you too, Cheryl, is I have a difficult time. It's a miracle that I'm actually able to do this podcast because there's so much equipment that I wish that I had that would make it a lot easier for me, but I'm trusting God in the process
Yep.
and waiting for him to show me my next steps. But it is difficult because I do edit all of my videos
Mm,
myself, and there's
mhm,
software that you have to pay for
mhm,
and websites that you have to pay for, and
mhm.
so it's been quite a challenge, but you know what? If I could go to college at the age of 54 during COVID lockdowns And I came this close to finishing, but I ran out of a Pell Grant. And
Mm,
I'll go back, but I only have math and science left.
mm.
But if I could get through that at the age of 54, when I never wrote an essay in my life, because I had never finished high school,
Okay.
I didn't even know anything about essays, and stuff like that. So I loved it. I fell in love with it. If I could do that, then I can do
We can
this,
we can
whatever it
figure
is that
this
I'm going to
stuff
be.
out, can't we?
Yeah, we can figure it out. So,
Yeah.
what are your primary goals for the next 1 to 3 years?
Well, getting myself to be able to do virtual appointments
Oh,
is
yes.
one.
Yes. That's right. That
But
fits right along in there, right?
but just being consistent with my business, so having consistent color analysis and style appointments, um,
Consistency.
being able to do workshops or parties. I've had some
Yes.
conversation about that. I was doing some of that with the boutique, and there still may be some possibilities with that. And then one of the things that I am working on is public speaking, being able
Oh,
to
yes.
go and be a public speaker on this topic. Um, I have a program that I'm getting ready to start on that's going to help me with my public speaking. I'm not afraid of it. So
Yeah.
that's half the battle, I think, is not being afraid of it.
Well, that was one of my other courses in college was speech, and I thanked God that I could do it virtually instead of a full
Uh,
class.
mhm.
That was the biggest fear of mine,
It is for
and
so many people.
it is, and it's so much easier virtually. I
Mm,
don't know what it is. I guess it's because you can't see your audience.
maybe,
You can't
maybe.
see your audience, and it's so much easier, but I learned speech. I
Mhm.
learned what to do and how to do it and everything, so that was a huge help. So that's good that you're taking a course or a class in
Yeah.
that because that will help. And I
There's
do find.
actually a lady that Lillian is probably going to have on some of her things. So, and she's actually a confidence coach,
Oh,
and
nice.
she has a speech program, that you workshop thing that she can do.
Oh,
Um,
that's nice. That is
so
really good. That'll be very helpful. And
yes,
so, I thank you so much for
sure.
being on my
Thank
program
you.
today. I mean, I think that what you're doing for other women is extremely important and very beneficial. And I am definitely, oh, this is what I was going to say. So, what do you think about combining a tea party along with a color analysis or fashion show?
Yep.
Because I think that, women love to get together for tea.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't like tea, they can have coffee.
Right.
But, a tea party with all of the different foods and then present your your color analysis after
Hmm.
everybody's had their tea and their foods. I think that would be beautiful. I can envision it now, and it's like, lots of places in your area, in my area, there's tea rooms that are popping up
Yes.
everywhere. And I think that would be a great opportunity to do something like that. I know that I would love for you to keep me informed if you're going to be having any kind of a local event like that. And if I have the opportunity, then I'll make the 3 hour drive. I will. I mean, I'll make it because it's worth it to me to first of all, I'd love to meet you in
Yeah.
person, and
Yeah.
second of all, to belong to be part of something like that that's making a difference in other women's lives. It gives me joy to
Hmm.
see people reinventing themselves and doing different, which is why I created this podcast in the first place, because women over 50 are usually falling under the radar,
Yep.
and they feel it. They feel that, "Oh, wow, look at these," I remember let me finish my thought. Look at
Yeah.
all these young kids that are popping up. Look at all these young I feel so old. Oh my gosh, I feel so old. I remember I was only 34 and was at a drive-through with my kids, and some guy yelled out the window, "Hurry it up, old lady." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm 34 years old. What?" And
It's
I
a
think
real
about
shocker when you go through the drive-through and they give you the senior discount without you even asking for it, right?
exactly, right?
But
Exactly.
then
Or
you
they
get to the mentality that I'll take that. That's cool.
right. Exactly. Or if somebody yeah, if somebody asks for your ID. I remember my mom when I was younger and, she would go buy she used to smoke, and she would buy a pack of cigarettes, and you were ID'd at
Yes.
back then, way in the
Yes.
day, and, they would say, "Can I see your ID?" And she'd say, "Are you kidding me?" And she'd say, "Oh, what a pleasure. Oh, thank you. Sure, you can see my ID." You
Yep.
know? And then I can remember, when I was in my 30s, I couldn't wait to be 55 so that I
Oh.
could possibly buy a trailer in a trailer park.
Oh.
'Cause at the time, we were searching to get out of a mortgage and all of that, and I
Yeah.
thought, "Man, there's so many beautiful double wide homes, and they have the clubhouse, they have the built-in pool, they have
Yes.
shuffleboard. I can't wait till I'm 55." Here I am almost 60, right? And I don't need a trailer. I have my own home now. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I just find that very interesting. And as I was saying, I want to give people like us a voice. We have
Yep.
been ignored too long. We're empty nesters, and we need to find our value and our worth other than in our children. I mean, I'll
Exactly.
speak for me. I'll
Yep.
speak for me.
You're
My
speaking for me
value and
too.
my worth, yeah, my value and my worth was based on the success of my children's lives
Yep.
and my
Yep.
relationship with them. I love them dearly. I always will, but it's time for me now, and
Yes.
it's time to get on with life because I'm past middle age. I
Right.
don't think, you know, time is short, and we need to
Yes.
do what makes us feel good
Mhm. Mhm.
within boundaries.
Exactly. Exactly.
We gotta keep it good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know all of your story, but I know that for me, like I was a homeschool mom.
Me too.
And one of the things that I have said multiple times to young homeschool moms is I think the whole empty nest thing is harder for a homeschool mom because
Yes,
until they're driving, you have them 24/7.
that's right.
When you're sending them to a private or public school, you're incrementally letting them go.
Yes,
But for a homeschool mom, it hits hard. And
yes.
it may be a couple of years, from the time if they start driving at 16, before they're out and on their own, but it's still, they're gone all day long.
Well, one of mine was dual enrolled,
Yep. Both.
because the homeschooling had to stop at a point, and she did her college in her high school. She enrolled at the college.
Yep.
That is something that I couldn't teach her.
Right.
I had never gone to college at that time, and so that was letting go at that
Mhm.
point, and oh my goodness, a license, driving for both my kids, that I was a nervous wreck. So,
Mhm.
yes, it's stages, just like the color analysis, there are
Mhm.
stages, and I was saying that every decade our bodies change and things change.
Mhm.
That's stages with our kids too, but
Yep.
it got to the point where how many more stages am I going to allow myself to worry? And I mean, when they're 40, I
Mhm.
don't have a 40-year-old, but I have a 26-year-old and a 31-year-old. But how much longer are you going to put your needs aside, put your interests aside, put yourself aside, and focus and worry on your adult kids? They're adults now.
Mhm.
So that's when I discovered that I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm
Right.
gonna live my life. I'm gonna do what I enjoy. Just like what you said, what I was talking, how I introduced you earlier, is that the most important thing is to do what you're interested in
Yep.
and to do it with support, because support
Yes.
is key, and do what you love to do. But you got to find it. You have to
Yep.
find it. You have to discover it. And so that's what I'm all about, and giving everyone a voice and a platform and to promote them. And I just really appreciate you coming on the podcast today. I
I
mean, it's been
appreciate you
such
having me and let me share what I'm doing. So,
it's
um,
amazing. It's so amazing, and don't forget to share it with your Facebook friends and, your family and everything, because this is really, really important what you're doing. I didn't
thank you.
realize that it was that in depth. And
Yeah.
being an artist as I am, this is even more intriguing to
Yeah.
me. And now I get it. I understand, and I hope everybody else out there is as intrigued as I am. And so that concludes our episode today with Cheryl, and I hope that her journey has resonated, encouraged, and motivated you to start your journey in doing different. And again, Cheryl, I thank you so much for being my guest, and it was such a pleasure. And I want to say thank you to those of you who tuned in today. And please don't forget to join me for more episodes of relaxed, inspiring chats with women who are learning to find joy in doing their different. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this podcast so we can get it out to as many women as possible so they don't feel so alone in doing their different. All links and emails for Cheryl and for me will be provided in the description of the podcast below. And if you are a woman over the age of 50 and you have a story to share, a passion to ignite, or wisdom to impart, I would love for you to join me on my podcast. And you can find my email below to set up an appointment for that. And until next time, keep doing different. Bye bye.
Bye.